Okay, let's talk during the disclaimer. Maybe I'll get some people to actually read it this time. I got a lot of people asking if I'm going to make the two new roboticized masters, Sonic Man and Mega Man. Yeah, I guess the answer to that is probably yes. I mean, they do look really cool, and they don't look so radically different that it's unfeasible for me to make them. So, odds are I probably will be making them as my next personal project. I'm still busy making a bunch of commissions, so don't expect it to come too soon. But yeah, it's probably a thing that I'm gonna get to sooner rather than later. Yeah, I don't have the parts to make Mega Man yet, but I can track down another Astro Boy probably, or another equivalent figure. And Sonic Man, I already have all the parts I need to make him. So yeah, probably that. Alright, theme song. Today's video has nothing to do with the roboticized masters at all. I just decided to say that because it was topical. No, this is a commission for Sparklewolf 404 on DeviantArt. Reala! Specifically Reala as he looked in Knight's Journey of Dreams, both with and without his persona mask, even though he never took the persona mask off in the game, which I found kinda stupid because Reala had a really cool looking design and covering that up with a freaking Mardi Gras mask was kinda dumb. Yeah, but I digress. Let's actually make a toy. The recipe for the figure is pretty simple. It is a Slugterra Eli figure with Silver's head. So to make the head, I first removed the muzzle and forehead frond and the ears from Silver, essentially just leaving his two spines, which would form the points of the jester hat, and then sculpted the crap around this. I added a little bit more length to the spines as well as curl to really sell the shape of the jester hat tails, and then I sculpted in all the details of his head and face. This was one of the hardest pictures I ever had to take because it is so low contrast and so low relief that every time I tried to take a picture of it, it just appeared as a white blob. Although once painted, it became a lot easier to photograph. The thing is, I got this far before realizing that the head really wasn't the right shape. When I reattached it to the body, it kind of looked like a balloon painted like Reala's head, which was attached to the body. The reason being because it came to too much of a point at the bottom, like a balloon. It has a knot tied at the bottom, and it looked really weird. So I actually went back and re-sculpted the head to be rounder. That way, when reattached to the neck, it actually looked a bit more natural. I mean, as natural as a big spherical clown head looks when it's put onto a neck. You know, technically speaking, Nightmarens don't have necks. Their heads just kind of hover over their shoulders. Their hands aren't actually attached to their arms either. If they weren't wearing clothes, you wouldn't actually see anything there. This is something that I learned from the comic book. Also, if you look closely at how they look in the video games. But I digress again. The body also required some relatively simple sculpting, just to replicate the elements of Reala's costume and his forearm thingies. He has this weird little feather collar thing, because why wouldn't he? I mean, seriously, this guy's like one of the most flamboyant villains I've ever had to make. I know it looks almost invisible here because it's a white-on-white contrast, but here you can see it a little bit better once it's attached to its proper place. Okay, let's just paint it there. Now you can really see it. So yeah, that's the body with his little feather bola. And then there's the hands. There's a little bit of armor sculpted onto the back of them, but other than that, it's just painted. And then same deal with the legs. I had to use Tails' feet. I cut Eli's feet off and put a pair of Tails' in its place. Removing the sock cuffs, of course, because that would make the legs too long. And then sculpted on the boot style, along with a couple of hip skirts. Now, in the show model, he's actually attached to the belt, but if I attached them there, they would limit the articulation, so I just stuck them here so that his hips would still be free. And then that just left the persona mask. It's made out of craft foam, and it's held in place with a rubber band. So let's take a look at the completed Reala figure. Here we go! We have Reala! Evil Knight Marin and proud of it. Despite the fact that with the feather collar he is actually more flamboyant than Knights, his voice actor sounded significantly more masculine. So, yeah, read into that what you will. Yeah, he retains all of Eli's former posability. He has that ab crunch. It would have been cool if he had more of a neck swivel, but the head really only turns left and right, so I can't really put him into too much. He can wear the persona mask. It's you just have to stretch that rubber band to get it past the horns. And you know what? Technically speaking, Nights into Dreams is in canon with Sonic the Hedgehog. The creators have said so. And well, we did have a cameo of a Nights into Dreams level in Sonic Lost World, so this can be a thing, you know? Zelda DLC and Nights DLC. That's funny. Okay, so the credits are rolling, so I got nothing else to say. This is Wake Angel 2001, signing off. I'll see you next time.